Everyone, my name is Financial Charles. Today is November 24th of 2023, and the current Bitcoin price is at about $37,800. So we keep on pushing higher and higher. It seems like it looks like we even surpassed 38,000. Looks like it was today, which is very surprising. But before I get into that or go further than that, I wanted to explain that, technical analysis is it's great, but it's just the astrology of analyzing markets. My channel is not about technical analysis at all. It perhaps may look like that because of sometimes what we talk about, as well as the whole video being observing the graphs the whole time. But the idea and fundamentals behind my videos, I really want to push the fundamentals of why Bitcoin is valuable, and why we should all buy Bitcoin. And I think I did a pretty good job on that last video when I was describing real estate versus gold, or Bitcoin versus stocks, and why Bitcoin is better than stocks. And I brought gold into it, well, why gold was used as a store of value for over 6,000 years, and why Bitcoin beats gold. Today I wanted to talk about CZ getting charged with money laundering. CZ is obviously the CEO of Binance, and we should not be surprised when things like this happen. One of the main ideas of Bitcoin, and just the Bitcoin space in general, is not your keys, not your coins. They've been preaching that for years and years and years, and we can go all the way back to the years of Mt. Gox. That was the very first major bankruptcy, where mismanagement of funds led to a loss of so many Bitcoin on the Mt. Gox, and then a lot of people lost their life savings. And then once again, it happened in 2022. I was a victim of this drop right here. This was the infamous Celsius drop. That was this area. This is where Lunaterra collapsed, as well as Celsius. And I know it's like not your keys, not your coins, but I guess you don't really truly understand what it is until someone really proves you wrong and shows that human nature can be just absolutely, what's the word, sociopathic, I believe. You would think that the CEO that keeps on showing their face for weekly AMAs, you would think that all right, this guy is clearly, he's showing his face, he's talking about his product like this and that, like he surely has nothing to gain from taking all of our funds, because he could just keeping the customer base would be more valuable. But of course we were proven wrong when Alex Mashinsky ran away with all of our funds. And this is right here, this is where I learned not your keys, not your coins. So then when things like BlockFi go bankrupt months later, and then things like FTX go bankrupt months later, that shouldn't even be a surprise at this point. You should, I'm going to get to this in a little bit, and I think this is the main point of it, but you should not be trusting any institutions at all. And that includes the Coinbases, that includes the Binances. It's been known for many years that Binance is a sketchy platform, and there's many horror stories about Binance over the years on Reddit. This should not be a surprise to anyone. And if Coinbase goes through the same thing eventually, now I'm not speaking on money laundering, but if Coinbase has a shutdown in the future, that should not be a surprise. You do know that the SEC is trying to find every way to frame Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, of something. There's so much incentive for the SEC to take down these big names such as Brian Armstrong, and and even CZ. CZ was in cahoots with Sam Bankman-Fried. All these top tier crypto CEOs, they're all fraudulent in one way or another. And even perhaps Brian Armstrong has some things behind the scenes as well. But the whole point of this is not your keys, not your coins. And the whole point of Bitcoin is to self-custody in the first place. I know there's so many selling points of Bitcoin as to why Bitcoin is good, why Bitcoin is bad. A lot of people, it's the 21 million only supply. To other people, it's the decentralization. The biggest thing is that you can hold your own money without having to trust any centralized institution. With a bank such as Chase Bank, if you have money in your savings account or your checking account, that's not actually your money. That is simply, what your balance shows you is that's the amount of money that Chase Bank owes you, and you have to hope that they honor your withdrawal. You have to hope that they honor your withdrawal and give you your funds back. However, in bad times when banks are insolvent or illiquid, they may not even, honor what your balance was. Did you know that all these banks are only FDIC insured up to $250,000? So if something goes wrong, the FDIC insurance, it guarantees that you'll get $250,000 if that's what you had in there, but anything more than that you will not get. But why is that? It's because in the event that the FDIC has to cover you, it's because that the banks mismanage your funds. This insurance is so you can get something, even though the bank mismanages your funds. All these banks are mismanaging your funds. All these banks, their whole business model is to take your money and then earn yield on your money. You know what I mean? And as well as to offer out loans to people. Where are they getting the money to pay out these loans? They're using other customers' liquidity that they provided. So when you get paid or when you deposit money into your bank account, you are simply giving them your money interest free. And what the bank does is they take that $2,000 that you just deposited into your account and they lend it off to someone else and charge them interest. All right, they charge them an interest rate, and they're profiting off of that interest rate. Now, what happens when the borrower does not pay back the loan? Now they just lost money. That's a bad debt. That's a bad debt. So if everyone's taking out loans and everyone can't pay it back, now that's a liquidity crisis right there. And this is what causes things like 1929 Great Depression. This is what causes 2008 recessions. It's this exact, thing that causes, banks to become illiquid and insolvent. And, in the case of Binance, perhaps they weren't necessarily insolvent, but obviously he got charged with money laundering and he pled guilty, most likely because, there are some things that, they were going against the rules of. And that's the thing, like, you do not know that any of these things are legit. Chase Bank is in not only the money laundering business, but they're in the drug trade as well. There was an article not too long ago, or, I guess it is pretty long ago at this point, but, a shipment container owned by JP Morgan Chase was carrying a large supply of cocaine. All of these elite entities, they are all in cahoots with each other and working together to oppress the modern day person, the regular average Joe. All these elites are being oppressed. Or no, not all these elites. All these elites are oppressing the modern day Joes like you and me. They control everything from the money to the banking system to the government, who gives them bailouts and all that stuff. They control the educational system. They control what's in our textbooks. They control what they teach to our kids. And have you noticed that when you're in school, they don't even teach you how to save or invest? They just teach you to go to school and work hard, so that way you can continue working for the boss. They want you to continue working for 40 hours a week for 40 years, so that way you can produce for the elites, while the elites can sit back and print all the money to pay you to continue doing work. It is all, they're all intertwined together. Now, if you had the opportunity to own a crypto business, if you had the opportunity to run the next Coinbase, the next FTX, the next Binance, like, you would do so, but there's no possible way in your human nature that you will just make sure that all this money is accounted for. Like, if someone's giving you money, your whole business strategy, your whole business model is to lend out the money to earn yield on that. That's how you're going to stay afloat. That's how you're going to pay for these brick and mortar stores that you have. This is how you're paying for all these ATMs, these physical ATMs. This is how you're paying for the lights. This is how you're paying for the employees. You know what I mean? Bitcoin is a way out of this corrupt system in which all the elites are working together to oppress the average Joe. With Bitcoin, you don't have to have Chase Bank hold your money. and lend it out to other people. You hold the money yourself in your own keys. That's the biggest point of this. Now, the government and, the banks, they work together. So if you improperly file your taxes and you owe the IRS money, the IRS will freeze your bank accounts. They will instruct Chase to freeze your bank accounts. If you are someone like a Kanye West and you have your own opinions and you start saying your own opinions online, and the elites, they do not like the opinion that you are sharing, they freeze your account too. That's exactly what happened with Kanye West's JP Morgan bank account. They froze all of his money, so he had no access to his money. Why did they freeze his bank account? Is because he had an opinion that he shared that did not align with the elite's agenda. All right, so in other words, this is how they oppress us with, it's not even freedom of speech anymore. Kanye West is no longer even allowed to say anything without facing the consequences of his bank account being frozen. This is how the elites are oppressing all of us, They control what we say, they control what we do, they control what we think, right? They control what motivates us. You know what I mean? This whole system is oppressing us, and Bitcoin is the way out. There's no one that can take your Bitcoin from you, all right? If someone holds you hostage and smashes you with a $5 wrench over and over and over again, that's the only chance that they can get you to spill your seed. But if you are tortured enough to the point where you die, right, they will never, ever get those coins from you. And I've said this countless times, and, they can torture you, but if your incentive is greater than, oh, I need to stop this torture, so let me just spill my money, let me just tell them my passphrase, all right, then you're going to get your keys. But let's say that you're holding this for something greater other than yourself. Let's say you're holding this for the future generations, your future family, you know what I'm saying? Like, then you can die and they're not going to be able to get anything, And when the system is like that, the interrogator that wants your money, they have more incentive to peacefully negotiate with you as opposed to violence. Gold, something like gold. I mean, gold has been a sound store of value for 6,000 years, but it's not even sound in comparison to Bitcoin. It was just the soundest option out there. If your enemies sail to your country, sail to your land, and then they destroy your whole village, they destroy your whole colony, and they kill you all, they can take away all the gold that was hiding in your closets, and they can take away your land. With Bitcoin, they cannot do that. They cannot just sail to you and just kill you to take your Bitcoin. Gold, to hold gold incentivizes violence. To hold Bitcoin incentivizes peaceful negotiation. So that way you can get something as opposed to nothing. And yeah, I really wish I could make this video longer because I really felt like I was onto something. But I will make another video to follow this one up in the future. I have to go back to work now. That's how the elites oppress us. So I will end this video here, and then in the next video I will follow up on this idea, because this is one of the most important parts of Bitcoin. Is just it frees us from the system that oppresses us. And yeah, that's all I had to say. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I will see you in another video.